that is number one in every survey of people's interests and needs, and that has to do with jobs and the economy. So what we'd like to know is, what are your thoughts, first of all, on Wisconsin's financial health, and what do we need to do to keep our economy healthier, make it healthier? And specifically, given today's business climate where large corporations make record profits and yet have entered this idea that they have to be given tax breaks or incentives in order to be persuaded to set up shop somewhere, what will you do to bring living wage jobs to our state while holding corporations accountable to pay their fair share of tax?
A lot in that question, so if I don't do it justice, Heather, come back to me please and tell me I have forgotten to deal with a piece of it. So let me try to start from the reverse order that you presented them. And first is my philosophy of how you grow an economy, which is 180 degrees different than Governor Walker's. And quite frankly, Governor Walker's has not worked historically in our nation. His philosophy is you give big tax breaks to a few, and then you hope that the rest of it trickles down to the rest of us. That hasn't worked ever. And you know, you don't have to talk theory because we now have the results 14 months later here. It hasn't worked here. For Wisconsin to be the only state in the nation to have lost jobs 6 months in a row under his agenda, when the states around us and the whole nation as a whole is finally starting to move out of a recession, shows you that his philosophy of trying to create jobs and improve the economy is wrong. But my philosophy is very different, and you know it quite well, because I was your county executive for 14 years, and during that time, as you know, our area had the largest job growth rate in the state. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of them was, I was careful with your tax dollars. That is one of my hallmarks. You should expect a governor and an executive to be careful with your dollars. But within that then, we made new innovations of how you find revenues outside of taxes. One that you will remember well is about 15 years ago when you elected me your county executive. The county runs the landfill. Landfill produces a methane waste. I know this group knows methane's really bad global warming toxicant. So here we got this environmental problem. What are we gonna do with it? And one of these county employees said back then, there's this new technology where you can invest in some equipment that will allow us to convert the methane to electricity, and maybe we can get the local utility to buy it back. That was our hope, to just get rid of the pollutant. Well, I negotiated a contract with MG&E, and I can look you in the eye today and say, Dane County makes $3 million a year for you taxpayers by converting that methane to electricity and selling it to MG&E. Rid of an environmental pollutant, making money for taxpayers. But the third is my philosophy of how you grow an economy, and that's the one that has always worked in this nation. It's what's produced the middle class and helped all families have an opportunity to move up the economic ladder, and that's by investing in education. That is the tried and true way to grow an economy, both for the long term, but also for the short term. And the example there, Heather, that I would give about how different I will be as governor than Scott Walker, welcome.
All right, thank you.
Is the following. Governor Walker gave these big tax breaks to a handful of corporations, and then biggest cut in education in our state's history. Part of that was his cuts of $70 million the biennium for the technical college system. This is the technical college system that was the first in the nation, in Wisconsin here. It was celebrated last year, its 100th birthday. 1 out of 5 high school graduates go to our technical college system. It is the place you can go and get training to get real jobs. It is an economic engine of the state. Governor Walker cuts the economic engine. At the same time, the data shows we have about 33,000 jobs that need this kind of technical training, from light manufacturing to nursing to health sciences. So why at the time when you've got 33,000 jobs unfilled, for which you need qualified, trained people, would you cut a third of the technical college system's funding? Wrong choices. And that's the difference I would make.
Okay, second one.